तू देगा प्रॉब्लम से छुटकारा।
Hi kids!
समझ
Hi ma'am!
आएगा तो मजा आएगा तो समझ आएगा। बढ़िया टीचर्स प्रॉब्लम्स चुटकी में सुलझाएंगे। डाउट सारी जिंदगी से
Raj, I got your doubt. This is your answer.
समझ आएगा तो मजा आएगा तो
Vedantu, learn live on.
Hey students, good evening, namaste and welcome to another session of our class 10 ICSE one-shot series. This is Ambika, Master Teacher of Biology at Vedantu. How are you all doing? Yes guys, we are getting started. Hi Ashika, Kartikeya, Manoj, Shaurya, Antonio, Simrandeep. Okay, it's scrolling a little fast. I may not be able to pick up all your names, but yes, I can see some familiar names. Also, many children who have been part of my one-shot series until yesterday. I can see many of you today also. Anyway, good that others are also here. Are there CBSE children today also? I'm just curious to know. CBSE? CBSE? Ashish. Oh, Ashish, I remember you. CBSE. Yes. Oh, okay. Actually, lots of you. Okay, anyway, because excretory system is a part of your CBSE chapter life processes, I think this will help you also. So let's just revise, let's just have an overview of the chapter. As you know, one-shot series chapters are not meant to go into the tiny details of the chapter because we've already done that. We are just going to quickly revise this within the next 20-30 minutes. Okay. Human evolution has been taught already. You can find the detailed videos in the ICSE Biology playlist. One shot will be coming. Okay, after physiology, we'll come to those. Okay, let us get started. And this is the positive quote I have for you today. You are off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. This is beautiful. And I strongly suggest all of us should wake up in the morning to sayings like these because it adds a lot of positivity to everything that we do, how we carry forward our entire day, because it makes things a lot easier. Things will keep coming, challenges will keep happening, but our attitude matters a lot. Okay? Yes. Hello, Sunny, Narendra. Good evening, Anandita. Okay? Let us go ahead, and before you forget, Feb 20th, tomorrow is the starting date of the Revise India camp, so do not miss it, especially the CBSE children out there. I hope you have all registered. If not, do remember to register now. Feb 20th, 21st and 22nd, a full coverage of a full syllabus revision of all your subjects of class 10 boards. Okay, this will certainly help you. 72 hours of non-stop doubt solving and non-stop revisions happening for class 10 boards. Okay, children. All right. So here we go, human excretory system. This is the structure of it. As we know, the main excretory organs in human beings are a pair of kidneys. You have the kidneys, you have blood supply to the kidneys from the heart, and that is brought by the renal artery, and then the renal vein carries impure blood away from the kidney towards the heart. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. And the kidneys empty out the urine that they have formed into the ureters, the tubes which would carry the urine into the urinary bladder, which acts as a temporary storage bag. Okay, and from there it gets expelled out through the urethra by voluntary action. Yes, so that is basically the gist. I think in human physiology, the simplest to understand is the overview. Of course, if you go into the details of each of the organs, it is a lot in detail for all of them. But then excretory system compared to the circulatory system, the respiratory system, digestive system and all that has fewer parts that you have to remember. Right? Okay, so let's move ahead. Structure of the kidney. If you had to pick one kidney and zoom into it, what do you see? First of all, it's made up of two parts, the outer cortex and the inner medulla. Right. The outer part, which is called the cortex. As I have told you, cortex is the term that we would use for any outer layer in biology. Where even in plants, we call the outer layers of the tissues cortex. Inner tissues, inner regions, we call them medulla. Okay, similarly, covering or cortex, think of it like that. CO can help you remember it as covering, which means it comes outside. And then medulla would be the inner part. And then go into further details of it. One single structural and functional unit of a kidney is what we call nephron, right? Nephron, the structure that you see here. This is a nephron magnified. Now children, this picture, for ICSE children, this picture is very important in the sense there are some papers which ask you questions about which part of the nephron comes in which part of the kidney. In the sense, does the Bowman's capsule come in the cortex or the medulla? The tubular parts, do they come in the cortex or medulla, and so on? So this picture is actually there to give you an idea of that. Okay? So make sure you understand it very clearly. There are millions of nephrons, okay, in both the kidneys together. Now, nephron, one single nephron, the major parts of it would start from the Bowman's capsule, which is the capsule-like structure here, the head-like structure here, to which blood supply is given by the glomerulus. Right, and then the Bowman's capsule opens into the tubular parts. What are they? The first part of the tubular part of the nephron is the proximal convoluted tubule. Yes, Arpit, you have asked the question exactly at the point of time when I was about to say it. PCT is proximal convoluted tubule. This part, the tubular part which follows just after the Bowman's capsule. Right, that is the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal is first, distal is later or hind. Okay, at the back. And PCT opens into the U-shaped structure which we call the loop of Henle. The loop of Henle, this structure. Okay, now as you can see, there is blood supply all over this because there has to be continuous exchange of materials between the blood vessels and your nephron capillaries, nephron tubules, right? Yes, because of that you can see these blue tubes all around running parallelly for this exchange to happen. Secretion, reabsorption, all of that should continuously happen. And after that, as you see, there is the distal convoluted tubule. So PCT, loop of Henle, and then the DCT or the distal convoluted tubule. Yes, these parts are there in CBSE also, Mukund. Yes, and then what happens after the DCT? From the DCT, as you can see, opens into a bigger or a wider tube which we call the collecting duct. Many DCTs or many nephrons actually open into a same collecting duct, into a common collecting duct. That is what you see here. The points like nodes there, which are points where other DCTs of other nephrons come and empty in. From the collecting tubule, it will open it into the inner parts of the kidney, the renal pelvis. Okay, and after that, of course, the urine that they have formed, all these millions of nephrons together have formed, goes into the ureter, urinary bladder, and gets expelled out through the urethra. Okay, yes, and that is giving you the structure of the kidney. Now, once again, to give you a clearer picture about the nephron, I have put this picture just in case you're asked to draw and label also. I think this is easier for you to understand. Okay. Dotted appearance on the cortex is just for your understanding. It's just some kind of shadings that we use in biology. Okay. Yes. So going ahead, as I told you, this is the Bowman's capsule with the glomerulus here, bringing in blood from the afferent arteriole. And blood leaves through the efferent arteriole. Okay. And from the Bowman's capsule, it enters into the PCT. Then comes the loop of Henle, DCT, and the collecting duct. And that is where the urine would flow out of the nephron into. Okay, all clear? The sequence is important. Which comes first, which comes later, especially for, yeah, this is an easy diagram, right? And very, very clear also. If you have to label it, I think it's easy to understand from this. Yes, the sequence. That is why I told you this again, because ICSE, one type of question that commonly comes is you are given a set of words and you are supposed to arrange it in logical sequence, right? So you need to know the parts correctly. Glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, PCT, loop of Henle, DCT, collecting duct. All right. Now moving ahead. Mechanism of urine formation. Okay. So what happens? There are three major steps. As you see, glomerular filtration is the very first step in urine formation. Filtration or ultrafiltration, as it's also called. Right? What happens? The blood, what is getting filtered? The blood which is brought in by the afferent arteriole comes into the glomerulus, and the Bowman's capsule, it's got certain pore-like structures in its inner wall through which the blood gets filtered. Some of the parts of the blood get filtered and they enter into the Bowman's capsule. And then that moves on into the proximal convoluted tubule. What happens in the proximal convoluted tubule, in the sense PCT? Where does it go? That substance which was filtered here, it keeps moving on, and now your blood here, which is in close proximity with the PCT, is like, okay, wait, before you get expelled from the body, let me check you once. And the blood here checks in the PCT whether this substance has anything that needs to be reabsorbed. Any useful substance it finds to be reabsorbed back into the body, depending on what the body needs. It can be anything, glucose, minerals, or anything. It reabsorbs certain materials, which is why tubular reabsorption is the second step. And then it goes into the loop of Henle and DCT. DCT, what happens? Your blood is like, okay, there are still certain things that I don't need. I will just eliminate them. And that gets secreted, which is tubular secretion by the DCT. Finally, gets collected into the collecting duct, getting expelled as urine. Okay, these are the three major steps. It is very, very, very simple. Okay, so glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. These are the three major steps of urine formation. This applies to CBSE children also. Okay, NCERT diagram is messed up, is it? Okay, never mind. You can draw it properly for your exam. Here we go. This is giving you a little more details about it. First of all, as you can see, glomerular filtration creates a plasma-like filtrate of the blood. Secondly, tubular reabsorption, it removes the useful solutes from the blood and returns them to the blood. As I said, what the body needs. Okay, wait, do not get expelled. The body needs it. It reabsorbs it. And then tubular secretion removes additional waste. Last minute cleaning up. That is what DCT does. Tubular secretion. And water conservation finally removes excess water from the urine. It returns it to the blood, and thus urine gets concentrated. Okay. All right, and there we go. That brings us to the end of the chapter overview. That brings us to the end of the summary of this chapter, excretory system. Very, very simple, right? So this is all that we have learned. Excretory system, what is it? In human beings, the main source of nitrogenous waste excretion is your kidney. The organ which helps in elimination of nitrogenous waste is your kidney. And of course, there are other organs like your nose, which excretes by eliminating through carbon dioxide. Skin also eliminates certain matters. So that way, all of them are also excretory organs of your body, but then we are concerned with the nitrogenous main filtering unit of your body, which are your kidneys. And yes, there we go. The structure we've seen. Structure of the nephron is important, and mechanism of urine formation is also very, very, very important. PCT's function is reabsorption, tubular reabsorption, reabsorption of useful substances back into the body. Okay. And yes, children, here we go. These are our ICSE toppers for 2019 board exams. And as I keep telling you, do take inspiration from all your toppers, seniors, and certainly you can be there. All you need to do is just a little bit of extra hard work in the next few days to come, probably in the next 45 days. Do not lose hope. Definitely, I would say this to you because bio is going to be your last exam, March 30th, right? So until then, I don't want you to, like, you know, in the middle of March or something like that, you shouldn't be like, okay, I'm done now, whatever comes, I don't care about it. Please don't do that. I will always be here to support you. And all of us here, all 4 of us here, have been supporting you in the last couple of months. The fast track series for ICSE is still happening for all your chapters of physics, chemistry, bio and math. Some of them are still happening, so end of this week or probably by next week, the revision in terms of fast track would all be done. And bio in detail, we've been doing all of them. One shot is also happening now. Right, okay. And now time for the quiz. Okay, yes. First question. The U-shaped portion of the nephron is dash. Is it the glomerulus? Is it the loop of Henle, the collecting duct, or the PCT? Yes? Who's going to give me the answer first today? I think before I actually noticed the name, it had scrolled up, but most of you are saying it's B. Somebody said A. A lot of A's. A. No. Okay, let's see. Loop of Henle. The name itself tells you it's a loop, a U-shaped structure. Exactly. So loop of Henle is the answer. Next one. The inner part of the kidney is called the medulla, the cortex, the nephron, or the ureter. Yes. BAA. Think about the clue that I told you. How do you remember this? How do you remember the covering of the kidney and the inner part of the kidney? That will make it easier for you. Okay. I can say A, B, C all in equal proportions, but some of you say medulla specifically. Okay. And there we go. The answer is medulla. As I said, covering is for cortex. C. Okay. The other one would be medulla. Now, next one. Reabsorption of glucose and most of the water occurs in the glomerulus, the loop of Henle, the DCT, or the PCT. PCT, okay. PCT. Many of you say it's PCT. Okay. Keep going and your time ends in 3, 2, 1, and there we go. The answer is proximal convoluted tubule, reabsorption of glucose and most of the water. Tubular reabsorption in the proximal tubular part of your nephron. Very good, very good. The next one. The nephrons discharge the formed urine at dash. The renal pelvis, the urinary bladder, the urethra, or the renal pyramid. Read the question very carefully. This is one which is very simple, but you can easily go wrong with if you don't read the question properly. Ureter, is it? A pelvis, renal pelvis. Okay. Urethra, as many of you say. Now, those of you who are answering it wrong just because you haven't read the question properly, one huge spanking for all of you. The answer is renal pelvis. We are talking about nephrons discharging the formed urine. We are not talking about urine coming from the kidneys and discharging elsewhere. Nephron is still inside the kidney. From there, where does it go? Collecting tubules collect it and empty it into the renal pelvis. I remember telling you this a few minutes back. Okay, never mind. And the next question, the knot of blood vessels inside the Bowman's capsule is the nephron, the glomerulus, Henle's loop or the loop of Henle, or the pelvis. Yes, the knot of blood vessels, BA, glomerulus. Okay, glomerulus, many of you say. Renal pelvis, somebody says. The knot of blood vessels, guys. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1 and go. The answer is glomerulus. Afferent arteriole brings in blood. Efferent arteriole leaves the glomerulus. Okay. And there we go. We have revised the entire chapter excretory system, the human excretory system, in one shot. As I said, it did not take us even 20 minutes, I guess, like probably close to 20 minutes. And we are done. Well done, all of you, for participating so actively. Yes, great job. And here we go, once again sharing our proud results from 2019 exams. We've got some amazing results from children who studied with Vedantu. These are the CBSE 12th success results, CBSE 10th, ICSE 10th, and also KVPY scholarship in PRMO. You can certainly be there. As I said, all you need to do is have the right kind of attitude and make sure every day you just keep going by your gut feeling, what you have to study, and in the right manner. We are always here to support you. Okay, and Revise India once again, for those of you who joined the session late and do not know about this, Revise India is something that all of you should certainly register for, because especially CBSE children, because a very, very thorough revision of your entire syllabus for all subjects is going to be happening tomorrow, which is Feb 20th, 21st and 22nd. Okay, so make sure you register now if you haven't done it yet. Here is a list of our ICSE Biology videos, the complete ICSE Biology playlist. For those of you who haven't been following me in the last 3-4 months, every chapter from your biology syllabus is covered in this. Okay, so do make it a point to go and watch it. Diagram series also, because diagram based questions are very, very important as far as your section B is concerned, right? So I have made 5 videos with a few chapters combined, from which diagram based questions most commonly come. Okay, and of course fast track, as I said, all 4 of us, you will find physics videos, chemistry, bio and also math videos, which some of which are still happening. Some sessions are still happening for ICSE fast track. Again, we are just discussing past year's questions from all your chapters. Okay. And yes, Students Corner, I'm not sure how many of you have been following me on Students Corner, especially in exam season. I completely understand you can be under a lot of stress, under a lot of tension, but never mind, whatever you are facing, you will find your answers here. Most of the questions asked by children related to motivation, exam stress and anxiety have been answered here. So do go ahead and have a look at those also. That is also very, very important, right? Because not just knowing all your concepts, going and facing your exam with full confidence is also equally important, I would say. And there we go. If you have enjoyed this session and found it useful, do remember to hit the like button right now before you leave. Please share it with all your ICSE friends, because chapters in one shot will certainly benefit all of you in terms of quick revision, because exams are about to start. And of course, subscribe to the channel Vedantu 9 and 10 if you haven't done it yet, because until your board exams are completed, we will keep coming up with a lot of creative content so that your exams are much easier than you ever thought. Okay, children? So I'll see you again tomorrow in another session. Until we meet again, this is Ambika signing off. Keep studying hard. All the best. Bye-bye.